The Liniar patio door is one of the most energy efficient and smoothest sliding PVCu patio doors on the market. In order to make sure it operates correctly and stands up to the rigorous tests of daily use, it's important to make sure the installation is carried out to Liniar's guidelines. This video will show you how. First, make sure there is a solid structure to fix the frame jambs to and a lintel above the frame aperture. Prepare the aperture by making sure it is clean, remove any old silicone and brush down the brick threshold. Assess the opening by checking the aperture's height, width, diagonals and squareness before proceeding. First, fit the sill. Use a spirit level and a string line to assess the level of the brick threshold you're working from. Temporarily place the required packers on the brick threshold and dry fit the sill. This will help to assess the finish level. It's really important that the sill is level, otherwise the patio door's rolling mechanism will not operate correctly. So make sure you level up the threshold before you carry on. Once it is level, double check that the door will still have enough clearance on height when it is installed. Before fixing the sill to the brick threshold, it must be supported along its full length. Use a bed of mortar along the full sill length between the required packers. Then put the sill into place and tap it down gently onto the packers using a plastic mallet. Check the level again before fixing the sill into place with appropriate fixings at a maximum of 600mm centres. Ensure all holes are sealed with silicone before screwing in place, as this will avoid any water ingress. Ensure the fixings are not over-tightened, causing unnecessary distortion, and check the level and bow at each step of the process. Now fit the frame. Make sure that all the threshold and drainage cover trims have been removed from the frame. Run a continuous silicone bead along the ends and across the full length of the back edge of the sill. This will ensure a weather-tight seal for the door. You should also cover the top of any fixings in the sill with silicone, as this will avoid any water ingress. Now lift the outer frame into position in the opening, ensuring the threshold is pushed against the sill's rear upstand. To hold the door in place temporarily while you level it, loosely pack out the jambs. Keep checking their level as you go along, as this will help to avoid any potential issues in later steps. There should be no twist or distortion in the jambs, and they should be plumb. Pack with packers either side of where you want to fix in order to support the fixing area. Then fix both outer jambs in place with appropriate fixings down the outer frame centre channel. Fixings should be no closer than 150mm from corners and at 600mm maximum centres, with a minimum of 3 fixings per side. We recommend using a shield to prevent damage from screwdrivers and drills. As you work, continue to check for any bows, as well as for plumbness and squareness. Make sure the screws are fully fixed so that they do not interfere with the refitting of the threshold cover. Once the frame jambs have been fixed into place, the head and threshold can be fixed. Pack the head and fix into place using appropriate fixings, securing down the centre channel of the outer frame, ensuring there is no distortion or bows along the length of the frame. We recommend using a string line, laser level or spirit level to assist with this. Ensuring the threshold is pushed up against the sill's rear upstand, fix it into place with appropriate fixings. Ensure all holes on the threshold are sealed with silicone before screwing in place, as this will avoid any water ingress. This completes the outer frame installation. Once the outer frame is in place, use a spirit level and check diagonals to perform a final check. You can now install the sliding sash into the outer frame. Ensure all trims are removed from the head and threshold, along with the top and bottom centre seals. Lift the sash into the frame by lifting upwards and rotating the bottom of the sash onto the track. Once the sash is in place, replace all centre seals and trims. Now you're ready to commence glazing the door panels. Before glazing, remove all beads from both sashes, taking care to note where the beads come from. Please note it may be necessary to remove the supplied door handle depending on the hardware. See manufacturer's guidance for more information. Fit the linear glazing platforms. Add silicone behind each vertical platform to help keep them in place, and ensure that none of the platforms obstruct any drainage holes. Liniar recommends installing the glazing platforms in the highlighted locations. Start fitting the glass on the linear glazing platforms from the inside, starting with the fixed sash first, and pack it appropriately. Once the glass is in place, the beading can be replaced. Spray glass cleaner on the glass first to ease the installation, and then replace the beading with the shortest pieces first. Use a plastic mallet to tap each piece into place. We recommend starting in the corners and working towards the middle. It is good practice to check for distortion using a spirit level against the lock sash jamb and interlock points after glazing. Knocking in the beads can distort the sash verticals, so they may require a gentle tap back. Then replace the door handle if necessary, along with the threshold covers and the drainage cover trims. Now check the finished doors to make sure the operation is perfect. The rolling mechanism should be smooth and feel light to operate. If the sliding door needs any adjustment, this can be done on either corner of the bottom sash by adjusting the wheels. Please refer to hardware manufacturer guidelines. Please note that the wheels must be adjusted equally to keep the door parallel with the jamb. Just a few final checks and the installation is complete. Check that the handles and locking mechanisms operate smoothly, that the sliding action is smooth and free running, and that the locks operate correctly when closed. The rolling mechanism won't work smoothly if there's any debris in the door track, so make sure you clean it properly with a soft brush. Once you are finished with checks and happy with the results, cut off all packers protruding from the outer frame and seal the perimeter with silicone to finish off the installation. The installation is now complete, and the homeowners can enjoy their new linear patio door.